In the heart of the verdant land of Mwiwa, where the river sang and the mountains whispered secrets to the wind, lay the village of Ikanjo. It was a place of bustling markets, where the aroma of roasted plantains and the sound of drums filled the air. The villagers, with their rich, umber skin glowing under the golden sun, thrived on unity and tradition. Yet, in the folds of this seemingly idyllic village, there brewed a story that would be told for generations. Baako, the son of Okom, the revered blacksmith, was a young man of great strength and unyielding will. His arms bore the scars of countless days at the forge, and his laughter was a melody that lifted the spirits of those around him. Baako was a dreamer, often gazing at the horizon, whispering to the winds about lands he wished to see and the legacy he hoped to build. Zuba, on the other hand, was a pearl born of the Kintu clan, the wealthiest family in Ikanjo. Her father, Chief Nembo, ruled with an iron fist and a heart encased in pride. Zuba was like the moon, radiant, elusive, and deeply admired. Her voice was a bomb, her presence a beacon. Yet, she was a prisoner of her lineage, bound by her father's ambition to marry her to the son of a powerful neighbor-in-chief. Baako and Zuba's paths crossed one fateful evening at the river Nile. It was the village's harvest festival, and the riverbanks were alive with music, dancing, and the light of flickering torches. Zuba, seeking escape from her father's shadow, wandered to the water's edge. There she found Baako, sketching in the sand with a stick. "What do you see in the dirt?" she asked, her voice like the ripple of the river. Startled, Baako looked up. "Dreams," he replied simply. "And you? What do you seek here?" "Freedom," she answered, her eyes meeting his. In that moment, their spirits intertwined, recognizing in each other the same yearning for something beyond their current lives. Their meetings became frequent. Under the guise of moonlight and the canopy of stars, they spoke of their fears and dreams. The riverbank became their sanctuary, a secret world untouched by the constraints of their lives. Zuba, wrapped in a plain cloak to disguise her identity, would slip away from her guarded home, her heart racing with a mix of fear and anticipation. Baako, always waiting with a small gift, a wildflower, a polished stone, or a simple carved trinket, would greet her with a smile that lit up the night. "You are more radiant than the stars tonight," he would often say, and Zuba's laughter would dance like fireflies in the air. They spoke of everything and nothing. Baako shared tales of his father's forge, of the way the fire roared and how he learned to mold iron into tools and weapons. He dreamed of one day crafting something so magnificent that it would outlive him, a symbol of his strength and vision. Zuba, in turn, spoke of the books she had secretly read from the village's traveling merchant, of the stories of faraway lands and brave heroes. One night, Zuba brought with her a small drum she had hidden away for years. "Teach me your songs," she said, placing it in Baako's hands. He hesitated at first but then began to drum a rhythm, soft and steady, as Zuba swayed to the beat. Soon, she joined in, her voice weaving through the rhythm like a river carving its path through the earth. Their laughter echoed through the trees, a sound so pure that even the nocturnal creatures paused to listen. As their love deepened, Baako began to teach Zuba more about his craft. He showed her how to hold the tools, to feel the rhythm of the hammer against the anvil. "The forge is like the heart," he explained one evening, his face illuminated by the soft glow of the fire. "Strong, relentless, but capable of creating beauty from the rawest materials." Zuba's fingers bore the faint marks of her lessons, but she cherished each one as a symbol of their bond. Zuba, too, shared her word with Baako. She led him to the hidden gardens her mother once tended, a place she had kept secret even from her family. It was a sanctuary of vibrant blossoms, fragrant herbs, and a single guava tree that bore fruit sweeter than honey. "This is where I come to remember her," Zuba whispered. Baako held her close, feeling the weight of her loss and the depth of her love. Their love grew like the baobab tree, slow, steady, and deeply rooted. They learned to trust each other completely. Zuba confided her fears about her father's plans for her future. "He sees me as a bargaining piece," she whispered one night, tears glistening in her eyes. "He does not see me." Baako held her hands tightly. "I see you, Zuba. I see your strength, your fire, your dreams. And I promise you, as long as I live, I will fight for you." As the weeks turned into months, their bond deepened, but so did the risks. The village, though large, was not blind. Whispers began to circulate about the blacksmith's son and the chief's daughter. Some villagers smiled knowingly, their hearts warmed by the tale of forbidden love. Others, loyal to Chief Nembo, grew suspicious and reported their sightings. Zuba's younger brother, Tembo, discovered their secret one evening. He had followed Zuba, curious about her sudden absences. Tembo, though young, was wise beyond his years. "I will not tell father," he said solemnly. "But you must be careful, Zuba. His wrath is like a storm. And storms do not spare anyone." Despite the growing danger, Baako and Zuba could not stay apart. They began to plan for a future together, far from the constraints of Ikanjo. "We could go to Amoni," Baako suggested one night. "It's a land of opportunities. We could start anew." Zuba's heart ached at the thought of leaving her family and the land she had known all her life, but the prospect of a life with Baako was worth any sacrifice. "I will follow you anywhere," she said, her voice steady with resolve. Their love, like the river, refused to be contained. It flowed, carving a path through obstacles, nourished by their dreams and the strength they found in each other. Their plans, however, were not without flaws. Nyora, a servant in the Kintu household, overheard Zuba's whispered plans and, seeking favor with Chief Nembo, relayed the details. The chief's fury was immediate and thunderous. He summoned his warriors and issued an ultimatum. Zuba was to remain in the village and marry her intended suitor within a fortnight, or Baako would face exile or worse. Zuba was confined to her quarters, watched closely by her father's guards. Despair clawed at her heart, but even in her darkest moments, she found ways to send messages to Baako through Tembo. "Do not give up on us," she wrote in one note, her tears staining the parchment. "We are stronger than this storm." Baako, too, faced trials. The villagers whispered behind his back, and his father, Okom, urged him to let Zuba go. "The chief's wrath is a fire that consumes all in its path," Okom warned. But Bako's resolve was unshaken. "I would rather face the fire than live without her," he replied. In their time of need, Baako and Zuba found allies in unexpected places. Tembo, brave and resourceful, became their greatest supporter, sneaking food and supplies to Baako as he prepared for their escape. Nyora, guilt-stricken by the chaos she had caused, sought to make amends. She provided Zuba with information about the guards' routines and the best time to flee. Even Okom, who had initially opposed the union, saw the strength of his son's love and lent his skills. He forged a dagger for Baako, etched with symbols of protection and courage. "May this guide you in the battles to come," Okom said, his voice heavy with emotion. On the eve of the harvest moon, Baako and Zuba put their plan into motion. Under the cover of darkness, Tembo and Nyora distracted the guards, allowing Zuba to slip away. Baako waited for her by the river Nile, their sanctuary, his heart pounding with anticipation. When Zuba appeared, her face illuminated by the moonlight, Baako felt a surge of relief and determination. "Are you ready?" he asked, his voice steady despite the chaos around them. "With you, always," she replied. They journeyed through the dense forest and treacherous terrains, pursued relentlessly by Chief Nembo's warriors. But their love, like a beacon, guided them through the darkest of nights. They faced hunger, exhaustion, and the constant threat of capture, yet their spirits remained unbroken. After weeks of hardship, they reached the borders of Amoni, a land known for its freedom and acceptance. There, they found refuge and began to rebuild their lives. Baako established a forge, crafting tools and ornaments that became highly sought after. Zuba, with her wisdom and compassion, became a teacher, sharing stories and knowledge with the children of their new community. Years later, when travelers from Ikanjo visited Amoni, they spoke of the legendary love story of Baako and Zuba, a tale of courage, resilience, and the unyielding power of love. Their story became a song, sung by griots across the land, ensuring that their legacy would never fade. In the end, Baako and Zuba proved that love, when nurtured with strength and determination, could overcome even the fiercest of storms.